sauce. Butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Coming up today on the lunch break, and yes, this is producer Evan, were the Suns able to get a big win in Minnesota? This is producer Evan. Coming up today on the lunch.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Welcome in. The Wednesday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060, streaming on the free KDUS AM 1060 app. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you here today on the show. Producer Evan, we got a WBC to break down from yesterday. We've got a Suns game to break down from last night. And I need you to keep me honest about something here, if it's all right with you. Because I do want to start with the Suns game tonight, if it's all right with everybody else. Or last night, I should say. And I want to focus the opening of the program on the game last night. I don't want to look too far into the future. We're going to save that for a little bit later on this hour when I ask everybody if it's time to panic. So if it's all right with you, I want to focus this opening segment on the game last night. A loss in Minnesota, a third loss in a row for the Phoenix Suns. You have to go all the way back to the beginning of the season. That's right. You have to go back to October 24th, 25th, 27th, and 29th for the last losing streak of at least 3 games for the Phoenix Suns. Despite how bad the entire month of February was for this basketball team, and February was rough. A lot of losses in there that we did not enjoy talking about. The entire month of February, where the schedule got harder, they couldn't string wins together, the injuries were piling up. Easily the worst month of the season, right? From a vibes check perspective, the worst month of the season. That month didn't have a 3-game losing streak. That month didn't have what occurred last night against Minnesota, with the Suns losing a 3rd game in a row. And last night started off, at least offensively, about as well as it could have for the Phoenix Suns. 39 points in that first quarter. I think they shot more than 45% from behind the three-point line, well north of 50%, 46.2% from behind the three-point line in that first quarter, 55% from the field. Booker had 12. Oso had a hot start with 8. Royce O'Neal added 9, 3 threes. Everything was working on the offensive end. And I know many of you are going to look last night towards the end of the third, the beginning of the fourth quarter, as to where the Suns lost this game. They ended the third quarter. I think Minnesota finished on like a 5 or 6 point run and then carried that into the fourth quarter to build out their double-digit lead. And you're going to point and circle end of the third, start of the fourth is where things completely got lost on the Phoenix Suns. For me, it's the first quarter where this game was lost for the Phoenix Suns. Need I remind you that Minnesota walked into that game last night a few hours fresh off of the news that they were going to be without Anthony Edwards for at least the next 1 to 2 weeks. They walked into that game last night knowing that if they lost to Phoenix, they would be just 1 game in front of them for the 6th seed, and they would be without Anthony Edwards for the next 1 to 2 weeks. Everything hinged for Minnesota over the final 13 games of the regular season on last night's game. And you came out knowing all of that, with that being the backdrop. You lost last night or 2 nights ago in Boston. You had a chance to win that game in the fourth quarter. You couldn't finish it. You went the final 5 minutes without making a basket. Despite that, you have a chance to pull within one game of Minnesota for the 6th seed. They don't have their best player. They had lost 4 of their last 5, and you came out and you played offensively exactly the way we needed you to play. The role players, Oso with 8, Royce O'Neal with 9. Your stars, Devin Booker starting off with 12, 55% from the field, 46% from behind the three-point line. Everything going your way offensively. Scored 39 points in the first quarter of that game last night. Yet you only had a 3-point lead at the end of the first quarter because you couldn't stop Minnesota. You jumped out to, what was it, an 18-7 lead early in the game, and it was right there for you. That's where the game was lost. Because if the Suns could continue to lean on Minnesota, get a couple more stops at the other end, you could take Minnesota, that crowd, out of the game immediately. But instead, despite playing about as best of an offensive quarter you've played in the last couple of nights, you still only had a 3-point lead. And then the scoring just completely fell off a cliff. 39 points in the first quarter. They scored 41 points in the entire second half, including just 18 points in the fourth quarter. That's where the game was lost. Not building up a larger cushion at the end of the first quarter. And then yet again, here we are talking about a team in the second half, a team in the fourth quarter, not being able to knock down shots. And I don't want to say it was a must win. I avoided saying that yesterday. It was one that you would really like to have, almost a gotta have it type game because of the implications. And so now with 13 games to go in the regular season, you are 3 games back of Minnesota. You have made the mountain higher for you to climb. We'll get to that a little bit later. I got to keep myself on track here. That game last night was lost in the first quarter, not in the end of the third and the fourth quarter. That's where it all kind of came together. But the breadcrumbs were laid in a first quarter where you scored 39 points and you only had a 3-point lead at halftime. That's where this game was lost. That's where the Suns gave away a chance to go in on the road, steal one against Minnesota, put a little pressure on them, make it just a 1-game cushion that Minnesota had in the 6th seed. And now you have a day off, and it's the finale of this road trip in San Antonio. It doesn't get any easier from here.
At times this year, it has felt like the Suns are unable to put teams away. Last night felt like another example of that. Right, they had an 8-point lead against Indiana going into the fourth quarter. Again, couldn't go on a run in the third to put that game away. And, like, you're playing the Pacers, so it doesn't come back to bite you. But last night, when you went on that and had that big first quarter, you couldn't put anything together in that second quarter just to extend the lead and put that Minnesota team to bed. Because guess what that does for their psyche? You extend that lead. You don't let them come back in the second quarter. After they got the news of Anthony Edwards, they quit.
39 points in the first quarter, 24 points in the second quarter, 23 points in the third quarter, 18 points in the fourth quarter. It was just a slow descent into offensive ineptitude. That's what it was last night. You watched it kind of in slow motion over the course of 4 quarters. A team that came out playing exactly the way you want the Suns to play. If you could have drawn up, at least offensively, the way you would want the Suns to start this type of game with the backdrop of what it could mean if you win, well, you couldn't have scripted it any better.
Couldn't have scripted.
Royce O'Neal, after not doing anything against Boston, comes out, knocks down 3 threes in that first quarter. Oso is providing something for you with the 8 points. Jalen Green scored 5 points. Devin Booker in double digits just in the first quarter alone. You couldn't script it any better. Your stars being your stars and your role players stepping up. And yet you only had a 3-point lead going into the second quarter, and it was just a slow descent from there. Couldn't script it any better. And yet they couldn't take full advantage of it. They couldn't take full advantage of shooting 46% from behind the 3-point line in the first quarter. They couldn't take full advantage of knocking down more than half their shots in that first quarter. You play about as well as you're going to play as an NBA team on the offensive end, and it still wasn't good enough for you to put together a big lead, to your point, that if you could lean on them a little bit in the second quarter, you might have been able to be in full control of this game. And instead, it was one of those drag-them-out fights that the Phoenix Suns have grown accustomed to playing. And unfortunately, as of late, they don't win these types of games. They did early in the year. They're not winning these types of games. They didn't win it the other night against Boston. They didn't win last night against Minnesota. And now, for the first time since the beginning of the season, they are in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. Not even the terrible month of February had a 3-game losing streak. Now, you ask anybody. I open it up. Phone calls, 480-864-1060. The KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. I open it up to anybody. They would tell you February was worse than this 3-game stretch. February, from a vibes check, felt worse going through that entire season or that entire month where they couldn't stack together wins. Couple losses, a win. Couple losses and a win. Not even that month had what this team is going through right now at this point of the year, now with 13 games to go. And they look up, and it is now a 3-game deficit. That is a massive missed opportunity last night for the Phoenix Suns, and it's not like they showed up last night and they didn't stand a chance from the jump. In fact, it was the opposite. They should have been in full control of this game. They weren't, and then you saw what has become an alarming trend for this team as of late. Their offense kind of sputters as the game goes on. Sputters like producer Evan's car. Maybe we'll get to that at some point today.
Oh, it was bad.
Maybe we'll get to that. Maybe we'll get to that at some point in the show today. We were concerned that you weren't going to get here today.
There was some concern.
There was some concern that you were not going to be here today. You had to get a ride to work. So the offense for the Phoenix Suns and producer Evan's car, a lot in common. Sputtering late yesterday. I don't want to say it's the worst loss of the season. And I think if we did a list, I wouldn't draft it as one of the worst losses of the season. But when you start as well as you did, you know what the game means. You know what a win does for you. It changes the math. You're 1 back with 13 to go instead of being 3 back with 13 to go. Just changes everything about the final 13 games of the regular season. You feel good about beating a team above 500. You feel good about beating a team that is your contemporary in the Western Conference playoffs. And instead, you had that second half. You barely scored more points in the second half than you did in the entire first quarter. You only scored 18 points in the fourth quarter of that game. It's not good enough. It's not going to get it done. And, oh, by the way, defensively, you've been bad the last 3 games.
And it's back-to-back fourth quarters where you turned in the terrible effort. So what do I do with that, too, now?
Right. And, one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit later on is, is it time to panic? What can this team do? I'll tell you what, watching the game last night, watching Rudy Gobert, they missed Mark Williams last night.
They missed Mark Williams.
Because Kaman Malawach, it was not it last night.
It was bad.
It was not good. They missed Mark Williams last night. I thought Oso played well on the offensive end. Oso did what he could on the defensive end, but it's just a size mismatch when you're going up against Rudy Gobert. And I didn't think Malawach he wasn't helpful last night.
No.
So you missed Mark Williams in that game last night. You missed Dillon Brooks in that game last night. Dillon Brooks and the energy and the culture and the leadership that he provides, I don't think we're having this slow tail off of offense that we've seen over the last couple of games. We're not having these fourth quarters where it honestly reminds me of the fourth quarters last year, where if you remember, they didn't have a point guard really that they trusted. And they were just giveaway games in the fourth quarter because they're turning the ball over. They're not executing the offense well. They're not getting into what they did well as a team, and they would give away games. It's not apples to apples, but it kind of gives me that same feel of they get to the fourth quarter and they just forget who they are as a basketball team, and they just make every simple mistake that you can make, and they just give away games. Now, again, this game was given away in the first quarter for me, not in the fourth. But you had a chance in the fourth because of how well you played in the first, at least offensively. Just one that you would really like to have, and it's disappointing that they didn't get it.
Really disappointing.
And it's disappointing that their offense just disappeared in the second half of the game last night. Just disappeared.
Completely.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it was a bad night for the U.S. and the WBC, but it was a great night for the Diamondbacks. We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RT O'Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTO'Sullivans.com for a location near you.
Arizona businesses need more skilled workers, and our students are the solution. At the Pima Joint Technical Education District, we build the talent Arizona businesses rely on. With cutting-edge programs in health and technology and hands-on career training, our 30,000 students will graduate ready for high-demand careers. JTED builds the future of Arizona's workforce. Learn how our students will bring excellence to your business at pimajted.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream. Hey, it's Bodie and Victoria, owners of newacunit.com, where homeowners save 50% off or more on new AC units.
You're probably wondering, if I buy a new AC unit online, who's coming to install it?
Or am I about to get upsold once they show up?
Those are fair questions.
At newacunit.com, we only use hand-selected, top-rated installers.
And the price you see online, that's the price. No surprises.
Get your price in minutes at newacunit.com.
Save thousands, save time, buy online, newacunit.com.
It's Truck Month at Tim Hovick's Santan Ford. F-150s, Lightnings, Super Duties. Right now, get 0 down, 0% financing for 60 months, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's a brand new Ford truck from Santan Ford with nothing out of pocket. Nobody in Arizona beats Tim Hovick on truck deals. Nobody. We've got the inventory, we've got the financing, and we're moving metal. Truck Month is on, and when they're gone, they're gone. Tim Hovick's Santan Ford in Gilbert or santanford.com. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
We're here with your Rome Report. Frustrated Denver Bronco fans waiting for their team to do something, anything this offseason, finally got their wish this morning as the team pulled the trigger on Miami star wide receiver Jalen Waddle. The Broncos get Waddle and Miami's 4th-round pick in exchange for a first, a third, and a 4th-rounder. So effectively, they give up a first and a third for Waddle, a WR1, still in his 20s. I like it. What's not to like? They're in it to win it, and they were a Jarrett Stidham away from playing in the Super Bowl last year. And now Bo Nix and Sean Payton have got another serious weapon that they can deploy. It's a great move by Denver. As for Miami, they're in a full-blown rebuild, and now they've got a war chest of draft picks. Of course, that guarantees nothing, as having those picks is not the same as hitting on those picks. What is guaranteed is that the Dolphins are clearly looking ahead to 2027, while the Broncos clearly are thinking Super Bowl right now. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Spring deals are popping up early at Lowe's. Right now, get 4 bags of Stay Green 2 cubic foot mulch for just $10. Plus, save $20 on an Ego 56-volt string trimmer, now just $199. Spring starts better when you save early. Don't miss out. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/18. Mulch offer excludes Hawaii. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you. That's what it's supposed to sound like coming out of a break. Supposed to have the music play. That's what I'm not blaming you. It's my fault. I'm the one that made the mistake.
No,
on the open
it's both of us.
No. I steered you wrong yesterday.
But
and
I don't know how I didn't put together, like when you sent me that, I was like, okay, put it in here. In my head, like I saved a promo before.
Right. You know,
and I just
right.
blankly.
Right. Listen, it happens.
I didn't think I am intro music.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just have to rebuild the intro. It's gone. It's lost forever. New intro coming to the program tomorrow.
Well, forever.
I'm sitting here and you do the show for as long as you have. I expect the music to play and the thumping noise, and then the voice guy to say it's the lunch break, and then all of a sudden I just hear you in my ear,
my tease
in my headset, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is he talking to me right now? Man, what's all right? We're here. Listen, I don't take that stuff too seriously.
No, we made it.
It's a mistake. It happens. We're going to move on. We're going to be better from it. We're going to learn. You want to do the coach speak thing right now? Listen, happened.
Yeah.
We're going to review the tape, review the film.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati. I had that as a drop at some point. It's not on my board anymore. But I had that at one point because I used it pretty regularly. The WBC last night, Venezuela with a 3-2 win over Team USA. And for the first time in what feels like forever, I actually made it to the first break on time, mainly because this is the story that I wanted to spend a little bit more time on. Because, boy, what a disaster that was last night for Team USA. What a disaster that was last night for Mark DeRosa. We'll get to that in a second. We are going to have some of those tough conversations. We are, and we will. But first, let's put a little positive spin on the game last night. Because, boy, did Eduardo Rodriguez look really good last night for Team Venezuela.
His best start in 4 years.
That changeup was nasty last night. And if you want to take one good thing away from Team USA losing in the WBC last night, is that the Diamondbacks' potential number 5 starter, if we were doing a depth chart 1 through 5, met a big moment last night. That's a good lineup that he faced, although it didn't look like it last night for Team USA. A lot of talent. 28, Joe Davis mentioned this on the broadcast, 5 MVPs, 28 All-Star appearances combined in the U.S. lineup. Eduardo Rodriguez dominated that lineup for Team Venezuela in the WBC. That should get you very, very, very excited as a Diamondbacks fan. Because if you get anything close to what Eduardo Rodriguez gave Team Venezuela last night, the rotation for the Diamondbacks all of a sudden becomes a major strength. Even though Merrill Kelly's sidelined, you got Zach Allen. You're going to get Merrill Kelly back at some point. Ryan Nelson was good in the second half last year. You expect a little more from Brandon Pfaadt. And if you get anywhere close to that version of Eduardo Rodriguez, Diamondbacks might win more baseball games than people think.
You feel really good.
He was great last night. Excellent. The changeup was nasty.
And it wasn't a case of, now it was, the U.S., I think, had a bad approach last night, but Eduardo Rodriguez had him off balance. It was a huge piece of why they had a bad approach.
Yeah, listen, he had the fastball, and he has a couple versions of it. You saw the cutter on display last night, and he was able to use that along with the changeup, and it was the Team USA, we went bust up. That's what their lineup did last night. I mean, it was a whole lot of nothing.
It was bad.
It was very, very bad. So you got to do something. Well, other than Bryce Harper, the answer to that was no. Nobody did anything last night. That's the good news. That's the good news out of the WBC. Eduardo Rodriguez looked really, really good last night on a big stage in a big moment with a lot of pressure. You hope that that carries over into the regular season and he gives you 70% of what he was last night. Because if he gives you 70% of what he was last night, it's a darn good number 4, number 5 starter for the Diamondbacks. Let's get to the bat. Where should we start? Do we start with the overall performance of the tournament and how this offense that's supposed to be unstoppable laid an egg the entire WBC? What, they scored 20 runs over the course of the, 6 or 7 games that they played?
Feels like it.
I mean, they barely scored more than 3 runs a game in the WBC.
I mean, they didn't. They scored 2 and 2 in the final 2 games.
Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Bobby Witt Jr., Kyle Schwarber, Cal Raleigh, Gunnar Henderson, Roman Anthony, Byron Buxton, Pete Crow Armstrong, Alex Bregman. That group barely could score 3 runs a game. Just an
abysmal.
Terrible performance. Awful performance. They looked clueless up there until Harper hit the home run. And even after that.
It wasn't like the bats got better after that. Nobody else was good.
And that happened in the 8th. That happened about as late as it could get. Aaron Judge, He had a good WBC overall. He had the highest OPS on the team. It was an awful performance last night from Judge. Schwarber, guy who never strikes out twice last night. He just couldn't put together quality at bats. Byron Buxton goes down swinging on a changeup, looks completely lost. Only had 7 at bats in the WBC up to that point. I mean, it was just a calamity of errors last night for Team USA. I want to talk about the manager now because the blame does go on the players. You have Aaron Judge. You've got Bryce Harper. You've got Bobby Witt. You've got Cal Raleigh. You've got Kyle Schwarber. You got all these guys. You're supposed to be able to do more than what you gave in this WBC. Mark DeRosa can't hit for him. But Mark DeRosa, this entire WBC, has looked like somebody who was not prepared for the job. This happened while I was out, but the whole thinking they had qualified for the quarterfinals when they hadn't, and the way he managed that game because he thought that, and getting Kershaw up and the lineup that he rolled out there because he wanted to give guys an opportunity just reeked of somebody who didn't understand what was going on, but more importantly, didn't have the people around him to tell him what was going on. That was problem number one. Then we can get into the Mason Miller thing from last night because it was a big conversation as we got to the game last night. Who was going to be available for both teams? You've got 30 MLB teams that are watching this with a very close eye, right? You got all these teams with all these different players that want to make sure their guys are healthy for the start of the regular season. And Mason Miller's availability was a big question going into the game last night. And before the game, we learned Mason Miller available in a save situation. Put a pin in that. We'll get back to it in a second. We get to the 9th inning of this game. Bryce Harper hits one of the biggest home runs on the biggest stages you're ever going to see.
By the way,
to tie the game.
As a Phillies fan and for me, Bryce Harper is the baseball player of my generation. Him and Mike Trout. It came up when I was, 11? And that's the guy. Talk about a dude who is time and time again felt like come up in that spot. And you're like, I'm not surprised he hit it. I'm not surprised in the slightest that he came up big again there. And to have that moment stripped away from him, essentially, because it goes down as Julio Jones is catching the Super Bowl. It goes down as Larry Fitzgerald, sorry to bring that up, parting the seas. And it's just one of those forgotten shots now. It's one of those forgotten plays because immediately you gave up the lead 2 batters later.
Harper hits the home run. He makes it 2-2 to the 9th. The U.S. is the home team in the WBC. They're the home team for this game, meaning they will not have an opportunity to get a save. So Mason Miller pregame only available in a save situation. Okay? Now, there's no save situation that's going to be available. So after the game, because he did not go to Mason Miller, he went to
Garrett Whitlock.
I almost said Garrett Crochet, and I knew that was not correct. I was mixing up the names in my head. He went to Whitlock in that spot because Mason Miller wasn't available, I guess, at that point. After the game, he's asked, why didn't you go to Mason Miller? Well, he said, I wanted to respect what I told the Padres. I wanted to respect that he was only available in a save situation. The reporter made a very astute follow-up question. Well, in the 9th inning as the home team, there's no save situation available. So Mason Miller wasn't available. And here is where I have an issue with Mark DeRosa, with the Padres, with maybe Mason Miller, everybody involved in this decision. You didn't say Mason Miller wasn't available because he's thrown too many pitches late. You didn't say Mason Miller has pitched in too many games back-to-back, so he needs a day off, and he's completely unavailable. You didn't say that. You said that he was available in a save situation. So basically what you told Mark DeRosa, you used the phrase save situation, but what you told him was you can only burn him
if you're up 3-2 in the 9th.
If it's a game in a situation where you absolutely need him. Don't bring him in if you're up 6-2 or you're down 6-2 in the 9th inning, right? That's the rubric that you gave Mark DeRosa. There is no difference between 3-2 in the 9th with Mason Miller going for the save and the situation Team USA found themselves in last night, 2-2. In terms of high leverage, the usage, none of it mattered. If Mason Miller was available, he should have been in that game. And none of this is a problem if before the game you say Mason Miller's not available. But this whole, he's available if it's a save situation, that was a save situation. That was saving the WBC. That was saving your chance of winning. And instead, now Mark DeRosa will forever be known as the manager of Team USA that lost back-to-back finals. And I'm sorry, This may get me in some trouble. But Mark DeRosa, unqualified to be the WBC manager. Unqualified. And I'll tell you why. I think it is a harder job to manage in the WBC than it is to manage a major league team for 162 games. Let me explain. When you are the manager of a WBC team, with where it falls in the calendar right now, meaning in spring training before the start of the regular season, you have to listen to 30 MLB teams that are sharing their opinions on how they want you to use their guys. Whereas if you're the manager of the Diamondbacks, you're Torey Lovello, you answer to Mike Hazen. That's it. That's who you answer to, and it's kind of a collaborative process. You don't have to worry about, okay, what do the Padres have to say about Mason Miller's usage? Okay, but what do the Red Sox say about how I need to use Roman Anthony? You don't have everybody chirping in your ear. And so to me, managing in the WBC is actually harder because you have too many voices that are trying to get into your ear, trying to get into your head and dictate the way you use these guys. Ergo, you need somebody who's been an actual manager before, who's been there, done that. Jim Leland. Go get Buck Showalter. What's Joe Madden up to? Go get one of those guys to manage Team USA instead of a TV personality. I've used the analogy yesterday. I'll use it again today. This was like if you let Kenny Smith or Charles Barkley coach Team USA basketball in the Olympics. You would never allow that. And this job...
Notice who coaches the teams in the Olympics.
This job, harder than that job. It would actually be easier for Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley to coach in the Olympics than it would be
harder.
I'm saying it's
easier. Way easier
than to do this when you've got 30 teams breathing down your neck to make sure you don't break their prized player, that you don't overuse their reliever in spring so that they don't have them for 162 games. And instead, you put a TV personality in that spot. And yeah, your raw talent can get you to back-to-back finals. Yeah, your raw talent can get you losing to Japan and losing to Team Venezuela. But the reason why you've lost the last 2 years is I think you've put together flawed rosters. I don't see the energy. Yeah, sure, you can get excited when Bryce Harper hits a home run, but you look across the diamond and you see the way Team Venezuela, Team DR, Team Japan, everybody, the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm.
The bats felt cold because they didn't care.
I don't want to go that far, but it certainly gave off the feeling like they didn't care.
Like what? And aside from the Bryce Harper, name one moment where you saw that dugout get up all tournament.
You didn't. And it felt like a flawed roster. It felt like it was mismanaged. It felt like the star players didn't come through outside of Bryce Harper's moment last night. It just felt like a team that was, I said it to you in the morning meeting. I think I've already used the phrase. It felt like last night was a calamity of errors in the manager choice, in the roster choice, in the star players not coming through. It just felt like on the biggest stage in the final, you saw every reason why Team USA shouldn't have won. Every reason why Team USA really shouldn't have made it out of the group stage, which they were almost close to doing. You saw it on full display last night. Everybody deserves a piece of blame, Pop. Yes, at the end of the day, when you have Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt and Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber and Cal Raleigh, who went hitless in the WBC, when you've got all this talent, you got to do better than 3 runs a game. But boy, you didn't help matters by not putting together the best roster in terms of personalities and energy and excitement and all that stuff. And your choice at manager, I think, doomed you.
It was pretty funny. I saw a Cal Raleigh Twitter stats from the WBC. 0 for 9, 5 strikeouts, an RBI walk, and he didn't shake Randy Arozarena's hand.
Yeah, and listen, in the game last night, it's going to kind of go, not talked about. He didn't pinch hit Cal Raleigh when there was an opportunity to. I know he's 0 for in the WBC. Dude hit 60 home runs last year. Maybe we give a guy
you're looking for a bigger swing, and you feel the upside's way larger with Raleigh up there than Smith. And I don't think that's not a knock on Will Smith. I just like my odds to go deep.
0 for in the WBC. I get it. It's crunch time. We need an at bat. But boy, you need some energy. You need some juice. How about putting a guy up there who hit 60 home runs and almost won the AL MVP from Aaron Judge? How about we give that guy a shot? How about we play Gunnar Henderson instead of playing Alex Bregman?
I thought Gunnar maybe was their best player all tournament.
It felt like it honestly felt like they were swimming upstream the entire tournament.
The entire time.
And it felt like they were going to win in spite of themselves.
From game one. Even if they won last night and they won that game 3-2, I think I would still be here and saying I'm embarrassed with how they played. They could have won the WBC yesterday. I think I would still internally feel embarrassed with how the United States showed out in the WBC.
It was bad all around. It was
I
bad
mean,
all around. Good for the Diamondbacks, though. Eduardo Rodriguez
looked great.
He looked great.
Would have been nice if we could talk about Gino's at bat from a Diamondbacks perspective.
A lot of Diamondback connections in Venezuela's win last night. So for the second straight WBC, the U.S. falls short in the final, and we'll see. The 28 Olympics potentially could be the next chance for Team USA to win a major trophy on the national stage. We'll see if they let the big league players play in the 28 Olympics. We'll see if we even have the sport of baseball when we get to 2028. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, does Ty Simpson now have to be in the Cardinals draft plans? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, choose the attorneys at Sweet James. They help you navigate the legal process and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. Pre-case review. Help available 24/7. Hablamos Español. 809-million. 809-million. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tickhavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results. The Psychedelic Furs are back. Live. May 28th, 7:30 p.m. at the Celebrity Theater. The Psychedelic Furs. Playing all the hits with special guests. We are scientists. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Psychedelic Furs, brought to you by Danny Zalisco Presents.
Meineke always treats your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke's certified technicians will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care. Schedule an appointment at Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at ChoosePrimavera.com. That's ChoosePrimavera.com.
Right now at Superstar Car Wash, it's buy one wash, get one free. Yep, buy a wash, get a wash on us. Perfect for sharing and saving. Don't miss this limited time offer. Be super and stop by your nearest location today.
Take advantage of thousands of dollars in SRP rebates and discounts on energy efficient home upgrades like new air conditioning units, windows, ducts, and insulation. Save money on your energy bill while also making your home more comfortable. SRP's network of participating contractors can guide you from start to finish and maximize your savings by combining Inflation Reduction Act incentives with SRP rebates. Learn more at savewithsrp.com.
It's the Shamrockin' RV sale at Little Dealer, Little Prices. Right now, take home a lightweight, family-friendly Westbrook 27cc for just $25,995. That's thousands less than the competition on a bunkhouse travel trailer. Plus, scratch off your savings and unlock up to $5,000 in added savings and incentives available in-store and online. Unbeatable pricing, massive selection, and service support you deserve. Don't wait. Shop online or in-store at Little Dealer, Little Prices today. Inventory subject to availability. Scratch-off savings and incentives vary. Maximum savings not guaranteed. Terms and conditions may apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
If you've been disappointed by underachieving savings, a high-yield certificate from America First can be a fantastic way to help your money start doing more. Whether you're planning for an upcoming expense or just want to save smarter and earn bigger, America First's flexible certificates are an outstanding way to grow your cash. So don't wait to get your money working. Head to americafirst.com and open a high-yield certificate today. Membership eligibility, terms, conditions, and change apply. Fees could reduce account earnings. Federally insured by NCUA.
Start your weekend off right with ASU baseball this Friday afternoon over on KACG 1440. Join the Sun Devils as they get ready to begin their weekend series against Kansas State. Head coach Leigh Bloomquist is more than ready for whatever the Wildcats bring to the diamond and earn his team a series opener win. It's game one between ASU and Kansas State this Friday afternoon. A pregame at 3:45 p.m. and first pitch set for 4 p.m. All happening over on KAZG at 1440.
Well, they didn't get Malik Willis or Jimmy Garoppolo in free agency. And their quarterback room currently consists of Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. And by the way, a interesting nugget in a story over on ESPN.com looking at the rest of the offseason, Josh Weinfuss kind of put in a piece that there isn't a named starter for the Cardinals going into next season. That Jacoby Brissett has not been told that he is the starter for 2026. So I wonder if it's a little more of an open competition than we think between the two, or perhaps between the three quarterbacks that the Cardinals could have when they get to the Hall of Fame game at the start of the preseason, because it was a popular conversation to have before free agency. It was a popular mock draft idea before Malik Willis chose to go to the Miami Dolphins. And so now that we are after Malik Willis and Jimmy Garoppolo didn't pick the Arizona Cardinals, is it time to revisit and maybe make it even more popular the idea of the Cardinals trading back into the first round and landing Ty Simpson to add to Jacoby Brissett, to add to Gardner Minshew, and to at least have some type of future at the quarterback position? Because nobody expects Jacoby Brissett to be the future for the Cardinals at the position. Nobody expects Gardner Minshew to be the answer at the quarterback position. They're stopgaps. They are measures to get you through. Gardner Minshew signed to a 1-year deal. Jacoby Brissett's got 1 year left on the 2-year deal he signed last offseason. You have two quarterbacks in your room right now on expiring deals. So this time, maybe a week or two ago, next year, the Cardinals are not going to have a quarterback under contract. And maybe that's by design. Maybe that's the plan, because they're going to draft somebody, or they're going to make a big splash in free agency, or they're going to trade for somebody. But as of right now, their future at the quarterback position doesn't exist. Perhaps it will exist after we get through the NFL draft. And perhaps that future could include Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson isn't viewed as a top-end quarterback prospect, guy who hasn't started a ton in college. Not as complete of a prospect as Fernando Mendoza, who's going to go number 1 to the Raiders. Other quarterback-needy teams that are inside the top 10, like the Jets, including the Cardinals at number 3, he's not viewed as somebody who should go in that range. He's viewed as somebody that, best case scenario for him, he probably goes midway in the first round, towards the back part of the first round. You're talking maybe the Kenny Pickett range from a couple years ago. Maybe more of an apples-to-apples comparison for this conversation. He is the Jackson Dart of this year's class, a quarterback that people like, a quarterback that people think has the makings of a franchise quarterback. It's maybe not all the way there yet. It's a worthwhile swing, but it's not a worthwhile swing inside the top 10. It's not a worthwhile swing inside the top 5. Remember, the Giants had a pick inside the top 5. They didn't take Jackson Dart. They traded back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. Could the Cardinals do the same thing? Not use their top 3 pick on Simpson, but trade back in to the first round to get him. I think, producer Evan, you pointed this out to me yesterday. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're the one that told me that the Cardinals were the betting favorite to land Ty Simpson in the 2026 NFL draft.
Yeah. As of yesterday, they were the betting favorite at plus 150.
I don't really know what to do with that. I don't know what stock to put in that. They're not taking him at number 3. Now, we're going to talk in hour number 2 of the program. Maybe they're not picking at number 3, and so that changes the outlook on this. But I think for somebody to say that a team that only has 1 first-round pick right now, right? Miami's got 2 first-round picks. Cleveland's got 2 first-round picks. Rams have 2 first-round picks. Jets have 2 first-round picks. You would think one of those teams, Jets are quarterback needy. Dolphins are quarterback needy, we think, because of the way they structured the Malik Willis deal and they're gutting their roster. I don't know if they're fully committed to Malik Willis as their quarterback of the future. Cleveland, we know, needs a quarterback. The Rams are looking for their heir apparent to Matthew Stafford. All those teams make sense, and all those teams have 2 picks, and those teams' second picks kind of fall in the range to where you start to think that Ty Simpson could go. So for Ty Simpson, the Cardinals to be the betting favorite to land him is intriguing. It's interesting. It's something that makes you go, huh, why is that? Why do the betting markets have the Cardinals as the favorite over teams that would make way more sense? It would make way more sense for the Jets to be favored to land Ty Simpson. Mock drafts are starting to do it. They've got a pick in that range starting at 16. Cleveland would make a ton of sense. The Rams would make a ton of sense. Cardinals don't make a lot of sense on paper. They're not taking him at number 3. So why are they the betting favorites to land him? It's interesting, something to keep in mind. And the other thing about this, you have a franchise that is, I think, caught between 2 directions. You have a franchise that I think wanted to go down one path this offseason, and it didn't go their way, and this was their backup plan, their pivot plan, and it kind of looks like they panicked a little bit. I don't know if it would do this, but I do wonder if there's a thought in that building of drafting a quarterback in the first round. Not at number 3, but drafting a quarterback in the first round. It does kind of create some buzz. It does kind of create some excitement. There is something to get excited about. There is something to look forward to. Yeah, maybe Ty Simpson is a bust. Maybe Ty Simpson doesn't turn into anything. But you have something to look forward to for this upcoming season in a year that many people are just kind of throwing away. They're throwing to the side. I don't want to say that Ty Simpson has to be in the Cardinals' plans because they can still have a very successful draft without getting him. But I do wonder if he's becoming more and more a part of their ideal plan next April.
It seemingly feels that way, just with the way they're attacking this. And if you're the new head coach, if you're Mike LaFleur, don't you want to bring in your guy?
And it's funny to me because everybody's kind of looking at the idea of the Rams getting Ty Simpson. Where'd Mike LaFleur come from?
Right.
So if you're gonna say that the Rams make sense, don't you have to say that at least at some level the Cardinals make some sense?
You'd have to imagine.
This is one of those things. We're not going to know until draft night. We're really not. But this is one of those things that won't go away. Ty Simpson's going to hover over the Cardinals draft between now and the first round. Because you're always going to be like, yeah, but they might just draft Ty Simpson. Not at number 3, but they might try to pull the Giants with the Jackson Dart move and go get a quarterback. And you've got him as the Cardinals as the betting favorite to land him. You've got mock drafts that are suggesting this. It just feels like a lot of momentum for this to be a big storyline going into the draft.
It would not surprise me in the slightest.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Our guy Michael over there says, question, what does Ty do great? Nothing, only played 15 games. That's why you don't take him number 3 overall, because he's an incomplete prospect. He hasn't played a ton of games. This is why when the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson, where they drafted him, they had to play him right away. And with Ty Simpson, if you take him in the Jackson Dart range, you can follow that same trajectory that the Giants did and take it slow. Take it nice and easy. Let him develop under LaFleur. Let Brissett and Gardner Minshew carry a lot of the load, and then maybe he plays a couple games at the end of the year. I'm not saying that Ty Simpson is the answer to all of the Cardinals' problems at quarterback, but I do think it is worth putting on the table that the Cardinals don't have any future at the quarterback position right now. They may try to get somebody that at least can start a future potentially in the 2026 NFL draft. When we come back, they have lost 3 in a row. The 6th seed looks as far away as it ever has been this season. Is it time to panic? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball in the NCAA tournament right here on KDUS AM 1060. After a hard-fought season, the Lady Sun Devils have made their way into the women's NCAA tournament against Virginia. Head coach Molly Miller is looking to have her team make a splash in the tournament and reach new heights. Join Jeff Munn on the call live. It's ASU versus Virginia this Thursday evening. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. and tip-off at 6 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
A night you don't want to miss. Of it in sevenfold. Good Charlotte, North America.
America Tour 2026, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. August 27th, Avenged Sevenfold. Good Charlotte, an epic night of music. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Low T, start for free for a limited time. Get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee, only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone gives you more energy, stamina, and it'll help you lose weight and lose that dad bod for good. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and get prescription strength testosterone now at Red Mountain Weight Loss. It's a game changer. So don't wait. If you've got low T, get started for free. Meet with a board-certified medical provider online with no waiting from the convenience of your home or office. Book today and feel like yourself again. Only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone. Keyword Red Mountain. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real testosterone. Real doctors. Real results.
Ready to refresh your space for less? At Living Spaces, thoughtful design and direct sourcing keep prices low while quality stays high. With sofas starting at just $295, queen beds from $195, and dining sets from just $295. Updating every room is within reach. Plus, enjoy fast, free shipping as soon as next day. So your new favorites arrive without the wait. Your next piece is waiting only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
There are times where I know where the leftovers are going to go well before we get there. And boy, I know where we're going in the leftovers today. We're breaking down Rory's menu for the Masters that came out today. Because I just saw a tweet of him explaining every single decision. And boy, do we need the full 10 minutes for the leftovers today to get into that. Producer Evan's ready to break this down.
It's a terrible menu.
It is a bad menu. Now, maybe his explanations will change my mind, but we'll get to this in the leftovers. So just prepare yourself accordingly, everybody. The leftovers, it's just going to be that today. By the way, we got a dueling drafts coming up in hour number 2.
Excited for that.
This is going to be a good one. Most important Diamondbacks in 2026. We haven't done this one yet, right? Dueling drafts?
No.
Should be a good one. We got Parcell coming up at the top of the hour, but before that.
By the way, none of us had Michael Garcia.
No, and none of us had Michael Garcia to win the WBC MVP. No, none of us had him in the pool. I don't think
he was on my list to draft. I went a couple different ways.
Didn't make the cut. Didn't make the cut for you. The Suns lost again last night, 3 in a row, their first 3-game losing streak since the beginning of the season. They now look up at the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 6th seed in the Western Conference, and they are 3 games back with 13 games to play. Isn't it funny how we've got 13 games to go in this NBA regular season? Feels like just yesterday this season was beginning. Season has flown by. Way different than the feeling we had last year about this team. So is it time to panic? They are just going to be locked in to the 7th seed. I think panic is a strong word. They're going to exceed every expectation we set for this team this season. I do think that the 6th seed feels out of reach at this point. I think it's going to be a very tall task to make up 3 games with 13 to go, even with Minnesota being without Anthony Edwards, because some tough games coming up on the schedule for the Suns. They've got Denver coming up. In 3 of their final 4 games, Houston, at LA, at Oklahoma City. I don't know if they're going to be able to make up 3 games and 13 games to go. But panic feels a little strong. Now, I will tell you, the thing that worries me, and I don't know if it worries you, Producer Evan, I don't see a path out that doesn't include Mark Williams and Dylan Brooks getting healthy. Like I've seen on social media, could Could you tweak the starting lineup a little bit? And do what? Who's going in there in the starting lineup that's going to all of a sudden solve all these problems? You want Ryan Dunn in there? And you want Jalen Green coming off the bench with the second unit to maybe play a little better defensively? Okay, I can get on board with that. You lost to a team that played 8 guys last night. Bones Highland came off the bench and apparently was Michael Jordan against you last night. You didn't have an answer for him. So does it matter who's in the starting lineup, who's not in the starting lineup? You're missing 2 very key players, key factors to your defensive operation. Mark Williams, the rim protecting, the rebounding, and Dylan Brooks just feels like the engine that makes them go defensively. You're missing both of those guys. Both of those guys not available to you. Both of those guys hurt. You'll get them back at some point. Right now, you don't have them. I don't know if Jordan Knott can tweak anything. Does everybody want to see more Haywood Highsmith in the lineup? You want to see more Kaman Malawach? I mean, what levers can he actually push? Maybe he can move Colin Gillespie or Jalen Green out of the starting lineup. But I'll tell you right now, Book's got to start. Oso's got to start because I'm not starting Malawach. Oso's my one starting center. Royce, you didn't have Grayson Allen last night. Would have been nice to have somebody who can knock down some shots when our offense went cold in the third and fourth quarters of the game. But what could actually change other than the simple truth of got to get healthy? You have to get Brooks and Williams back. It's really that simple. And you just have to hope in the meantime that you could have hung around Minnesota. The answer was can't do it. You've lost 3 in a row. You've played poor defensively each of the last 3 nights. Your offense has disappeared in the fourth quarter of the last 2. Does Grayson Allen help that? Maybe. Dylan Brooks certainly helps the energy on the defensive end. Certainly helps there. I think Mark Williams grabs you a couple more rebounds. And you move Oso to the backup center role. He comes off the bench. It kind of changes the dynamics a little bit. But really, with the group that he has right now, with the group that Jordan Knott has, what can he do? Sure, he can change the starting 5. I don't think it's going to change a whole lot. He needs to get healthy. Time to panic? No. Is the 6 seed kind of out of reach? Yes. 3 games with 13 to go. That's a tall mountain to climb, especially when you're shorthanded, especially when you're playing the way you've played the last 3. Hour number 2, right around the corner. We mentioned it, dueling drafts. Should the Cardinals trade out of the number 3 pick? But we start with buy or sell. We'll do it next. The lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
It's the spectacular return of Bruce Springsteen and the legendary E Street Band. Land of Hope and Dreams American Tour. Live at Mortgage Matchup Center, April 16th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. An unforgettable night with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. For more, visit BruceSpringsteen.net.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
Try the Chicken Melt Trio at Port of Subs. Protein packed with bold sauces and built to crush cravings. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Streaming on the free KDUS AM 1060 app. You can watch us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's how we open hour number 2 every single day. Buy or sell. That's it. That's all I'm allowed to do. Except in the rare cases I put a take on layaway.
Rare cases.
And then I forget that I put a take on layaway, and then I have to answer for it in the future, and then I forget why I put it on layaway in the first place. Which is what happened on yesterday's edition of Buy or Sell.
Exactly what happened. Eduardo Rodriguez's performance last night gives you more confidence in the Diamondback season. Hard for it not to.
No, I know, and it is a complete overreaction to think that one start's going to change the fortune.
But it was
of
that
an entire
lineup.
season. But yeah, he was impressive last night. He was impressive,
and it wasn't bad. Like, he looked good.
Yeah, the changeup looked really good. Fastball looked good. Cutter looked good. Changeup looked filthy. I mean, when they signed him to the 4-year deal, it's kind of what you were expecting you were going to get, that kind of starter. Injury.
Well, maybe less than that.
Somebody that could go out there and compete every 5th day for you.
Could compete.
He got hurt his first season.
And then it's been downhill.
It's been downhill since. But if you can get, I said it earlier, 70% of what you got from him last night, that's a darn good number 4 or number 5. And that just turns this rotation, which I think is already one of the strengths of this team, if not the strength of the team. It makes it even more of a strength if you're going to get that. But I think it was Salvador Perez mentioned this, that he loves Kansas City, loves playing for the Royals. He said it's different when you play for your country. It's different when you're representing 30 million people. And I do wonder if there's obviously that adrenaline, there's that little extra that
it doesn't feel like the U.S. players have that.
Well, I'm just going to say you're not going to have that in a May game against the Brewers, for example, or a May game against the
it's
White
not going to
Sox.
hit the same.
Right. You're not going to have that type of energy. So don't expect that every single time out, but it was certainly a good sign, and hopefully the Diamondbacks were paying very close attention to what worked last night, and maybe they picked the brain of the Venezuela pitching coach, Johan Santana.
You would hope so.
Hope Torrey picks up the phone, has a conversation.
This pitching coach, we need to work on some game plans and keeping pitchers healthy. Any pitcher that didn't report to D-back spring training may have been in better hands.
So I will buy the take that it gets me more excited, but I do want to caution against completely overreacting to, Eduardo Rodriguez is going to
We have another ace.
Right. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Don't do that.
The Suns will stay in the 7th seed and host the play-in game.
Yeah, I'll buy this. I don't think the Clippers are going to be able to close the gap on them. And I think 3 games back with 13 to play, when you look at their schedule, at San Antonio coming up on Thursday, Tough games against Denver, a Toronto team that they've already lost to, although they've been pretty good at when they face a team a second time. And boy, they're going to need that on Sunday. You have to go to Memphis, to Orlando at the end of the month.
If they host the playing game, can we go?
If they host the play-in game, can we go? We can take it under advisement.
Okay.
Once we get a working intro to the show again, maybe we, because I broke the intro to the show today. Completely broken.
Once we get it going, we'll see at the playing game.
We'll see at the playing game. But yeah, I think they're locked into the 7th seed. And so then you have 2 chances to win 1 game to get into the postseason, and then you're either the 7 or the 8 seed, and so you're facing Oklahoma City or I think it's San Antonio.
Correct.
So you're facing one of those 2 teams.
The Cardinals will make a few more signings before April's draft.
Here I go again, wanting the technicalities of the question.
Meaning starter or rotational player?
Okay. Because they're going to sign guys. They're going to sign guys you've never even heard of to be on their practice squad. So somebody that's going to be a starter at a position.
Or like, if it's an edge and
really high quality depth.
Yeah.
You said a couple? A few? What did you say?
At least. I said a few, but like more than one.
They're going to sign more than one starters and or high quality depth. Boy, they need a right tackle badly.
Badly.
I just don't know if there's any free agent options left. That's either going to be a trade or the draft, so that wouldn't apply. They can sign one of these veteran edges if they just want somebody on like a super incentive laden deal because he doesn't get what he wants from other teams. They need another safety. I'll sell the take. Because I just don't see the clear path to 2. I can squint and get to like 1 major addition. And by major, again, somebody who can start and or is going to be part of a rotation. And especially with the veteran edges that are still out there. Like they could get somebody.
Kind of my thought is if you can get one of those and maybe an offensive lineman.
Yeah, but I don't know if any of the offensive linemen are going to be. Because I think they got their 2 major depth offensive linemen in Wilkerson and Pryor. I think those 2 are going to be now. Wilkinson is the starting right tackle.
You're not going to add somebody to
play the other guard spot. Yes, they should do that, but they didn't.
You don't think they could do that in an edge rusher?
I mean, who's available?
The age old. That's the $1 million question here.
Like the edge, yes.
I think they will add an edge rusher for sure.
Let me look at the Athletics best available in free agents. Because the edge group was a group that I thought they could sign.
That means you don't love it.
Joe, what is Joey Bosa going to give you? Jadeveon Clowney.
Joey Bosa felt like he had 6 sacks, and they felt like they were all in the first 4 games.
What's Cam Jordan? Cam Jordan, 37 years old, just wants to play in nice warm weather. Sign him.
Yeah, the Cam Jordan stinks. But he would start for this team.
Kevin Zeitler, Joel Bitonio. Those are 2 guards. Both of those guys would start for this team right now.
They would.
Fred Johnson of the Eagles, 29 years old.
Would certainly start.
Started last year with Lane Johnson out.
There's options out there.
Bring back Jonah Williams to play right tackle. He says sarcastically.
The Milwaukee Bucks went Giannis onto the.
Wait a minute, I wasn't done.
Sorry, I'm just reading. This is a Shams report from right now.
Oh,
so the Bucks want to shut down Giannis for the remainder of the year.
I love that. Suns play the Bucks on Saturday. Sounds great. You know what?
Shut him down.
Shut him down. Keep him healthy. Tank that pick. Apparently, Giannis remains uninterested in such an approach. Giannis, please hear me.
Take it easy.
Relax. It's okay, buddy.
Take it easy, Giannis. You're going to be on a new team soon.
Right. You want to be healthy.
I don't want to push yourself too far for that.
Right. You want to be healthy for New York or Miami.
Exactly.
You don't want to push it for a season that's already lost, you know?
In Milwaukee.
Yeah.
We're going to move you to a beautiful city.
Just take it easy. Enjoy.
Don't you want to go there healthy? You want to enjoy your summer?
Yeah, you're fine. What other edges are on this list? Jadeveon Clowney, Cam Jordan, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller. Any of those names do anything for you?
No. Von Miller, maybe. All right, so buy or sell.
Fred Johnson. I already mentioned him.
Could they add 2 rotational pieces?
I'll buy.
He's going to buy.
I'm going to buy, yeah. Because they're going to sign a guard, aren't they?
I think so, too. I think they will sign a guard.
Sign a guard, draft a tackle.
Jalen Waddle will have 1,000.
Where's Samalu going to play?
He's probably going to play left guard.
He's going to play left guard?
That's what I think.
So you need a right guard, right?
I think so, yeah.
Because Bitonio's a left guard. And he's 35 years old. Zeitler's 36.
There's not much youth at the offensive line position available in free agency.
Now, Greg Van Roten is interesting. I mentioned him before. He can play right guard, left guard, and center. Now, he's 36 years old. Not good as a run blocker, though, and I think that's going to be a prerequisite for Mike LaFleur's offense. Daniel Falele of the Baltimore Ravens started at right guard last year. Run game guy, maybe. I'm going to buy, but it's not a good group.
It's not a great group. Jalen Waddle will have 1,000 yards or more in his first year as a Denver Bronco.
Jalen Waddle. There's a lot of things to consider here. You got to consider new team. You got to consider who his quarterback is. You also have to consider new play caller.
New play caller.
Sean Payton not calling the plays. It's going to be Davis Webb calling the plays for the Broncos this upcoming season. Jalen Waddle last year did what?
Jalen Waddle had 744 yards.
What did he do the year before that?
He was also under 1,000. Give me a second. I only have last year's written down.
You knew I was going to ask. That's why you had it written down.
I just didn't go that far.
You knew I was going to ask what he did last year. It's just kind of a standard for me.
Why is Pro Football Reference taking a while?
I got to tell you, the internet's been kind of slow today, and I don't think it's the building. I know
9:10.
I know we had some Wi-Fi issues earlier in the week. I think it's because my phone wasn't working either.
58.
I think the whole internet's down.
I think
the whole internet broken today.
Also, I got to tell you something.
Okay.
In my head, like Jalen Waddle, very injury prone. He's missed like six games.
6 games in 5 seasons.
Pretty good.
He leaves games and then checks back in.
Yeah.
But he's only missed 6 games in 5 years.
When I read that yesterday, I was a little shocked.
So is
58 for 744 and 64 for 910.
So he's never had a 1,000-yard season?
No. 2021 he had 1,015. 2022 is big year, 1,356.
Okay, so he's at 2.
2023 1,014.
He's at 3.
Okay, how about this? Who's gonna have the bigger year? Jalen Waddle in Denver, DJ Moore in Buffalo.
You just changed the buy or sell in the middle of the buy or sell. So what am I reacting to here? Both? Should I start with the first one?
Yeah, well, I'll start with first. Do you think Waddle will have 1,000 yards?
I do not think he will have 1,000 yards.
Okay. DJ Moore will have more receiving yards than Jalen Waddle.
Sell. I am out on DJ Moore.
Why?
I'm out.
Why?
I believe I explained it very well when we originally had this conversation. The player that you think he can be with Josh Allen, he hasn't been in a really long time.
Not true. Not true. In 2023, he had 1,364. And that was with Justin Fields at
That's
quarterback.
3 years ago.
That was with Justin Fields at quarterback.
That's also 3 years ago.
Ever since your guy Caleb came in, that's been the issue.
But everybody tells me how great of a quarterback Caleb Williams is. DJ Moore couldn't be a 1,000-yard receiver.
Well, in fairness, he would have been. Remember, he missed him on like a 40-yard touchdown that would have put him over the 1,006 mark.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Well, they lost to 9 because he overthrew him by 50 yards. Do you remember that?
That was early. That was the Monday night game at the start of the year,
Yeah.
right? We just completely missed him. He was wide open.
Separation, DJ Moore.
I will take Waddle under 1,000, but I will take him more than DJ Moore.
So you think DJ Moore under like what, 700?
I think DJ Moore is going to be at 750, and I think Waddle is going to probably be 850 plus, but under 1,000. Because I just don't know how much they're going to throw the ball in that offense.
No, I agree.
So is the volume going to be there?
That's the question.
I just don't know.
Somebody will have a perfect bracket through the first round.
When you first started this, I thought you were asking me if somebody was going to have a perfect bracket. I was like, this is the easiest buy or sell of all time.
Yeah, the answer to that is no. But can somebody get to the round of 32?
Can somebody get to the round of 32?
You know what? I don't know the answer to this. I'm going to see how often.
I would say it's less than 10% of the time. I might even say it's less than 5%.
I think it's less than 5. Yeah.
I will say it's been kind of getting a little more chalky over the years.
It has been.
I will say yes, somebody will have a perfect bracket.
Wow.
Somebody will have a perfect bracket through the first round.
Okay, so in the best attempt ever,
okay,
in 2019,
okay,
one person correctly picked the first 49 games, which got them through the second round.
Right, because there's
almost through the second round.
32 games in the first round.
Yep,
16 in the second round.
That's 48.
And he or she got one
in the
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
That would be, Sweet 16.
Wow. Could you imagine how heartbreaking? Because
it's not heartbreaking at the Sweet 16 because there's still so much that has to go right.
What's the payout if you get it?
It's insane.
Who pays that?
If you got to the Final Four, then it's heartbreaking. Elite Eight's probably heartbreaking, right? If you get down to the Final 8 and you've gone perfect, and you need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need what would that be? The 4 Elite 8 games, the 2 Final 4 games, and the championship game. You would need 7 more results. You're more than halfway there. You can see the finish line. That's when it starts to hurt. But no, anything before the Sweet 16, there's just so much left in the bracket.
It is a $1 billion payout.
It's just never going to happen. You know how many things have to go your way? Not going to happen.
You need every bounce. That would be the luckiest win of all time.
Yes. There'd be so much luck involved.
Like, you don't need, like, there's skill and knowledge, but way more luck.
Right. But I guess there is skill in knowing the teams, but there's no skill in picking the team that's going to win. Once you pick the team and write them down on the piece of paper, you now need everything to go that team's way in the game. Yeah. You have no control over it.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I got for you.
There you have it. Another edition of Buy or Sell. It's a Wednesday, which means we have a dueling draft, the most important Diamondbacks for 2026. We talked yesterday about how, according to Jeff Passan, the season hinges on Corbin Carroll. Who do we think the season hinges on? The most important Diamondbacks for 2026. We will draft our lists next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RT O'Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tech-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crows. Whiskey Myers. Saturday, August 15th. Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
This is Arizona's biggest name in gaming. Whether it's the brilliantly brand new White Tanks or the always spectacular West Valley right down the street, we've got you covered with the hottest slots and tables, state-of-the-art sportsbook, dazzling dining like the legendary Morton's The Steakhouse, entertainment, and more. The brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks and Desert Diamond West Valley.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. Friday, August 14th, Mortgage Matchup Center. On sale now at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. At first glance, opening night of March Madness doesn't exactly scream must watch. A pair of 16 seeds and a matchup of 11 seeds rarely moves the needle for the casual fan. The 16 seeds may be long shots. History has made that clear. As for the 11 seed games, well, that carries far more weight than it appears. This is where March has quietly built some of its most compelling stories. 6 different 11 seeds have crashed the Final Four. LSU, George Mason, VCU, Loyola Chicago, UCLA, and most recently, NC State. It's a trend. They're not your typical underdogs. They often are battle-tested, overlooked for one reason or another, but talented enough to win a few games in a row. That's the beauty of the tournament. Only takes one game to spark a run, and once that starts, the seed next to your name doesn't matter. If you're looking for some madness to begin, history tells us the 11 seeds are a pretty good place to start. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance. Scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals, but Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that goes above and beyond to help you keep more of what matters. No hunting, no hassle, just confidence that your coverage customized with savings in mind. Start your quote at libertymutual.com.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
All right. Another dueling draft for us here on the program. The last one we did was WBC MVPs, correct? that was the last one we did before I left.
Correct. Didn't go well.
Who went first in that?
You did, because I'm looking at my squad I have here, and I picked Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, so I imagine you picked Ohtani first.
You have the full list? Or you just have your 5?
I have my 5.
Who are your 5?
Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Nolan McLean, Seiya Suzuki.
I don't remember who went first.
I imagine you took Ohtani first.
And then you went
And then I went Soto Harper.
Soto Harper. But I would have taken Ohtani Judge. Because you don't have Judge. That means I had Ohtani Judge. So I had to have 2-3.
Why would I take Soto first?
But why would you leave Judge to me after getting Ohtani number 1?
Here's what I think. I think you took Judge.
Number 1.
I took Soto Harper because I remember I was big on the Japan team doesn't have the pitching to win the championship.
Oh, okay. And then I took Ohtani 2?
You took Ohtani 2.
Okay. I can get on board with that.
On the turn.
All right. I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't either. Long story short, I think you went first.
So that means your turn to go first.
So my turn to go first.
And if it's wrong, it's on you because you're the one that's saying that this is how it should go.
Does anybody in the chat have any idea of who went first?
480-864-1060.
Give us a call.
You remember who went first.
Not a bad idea. We should have people call in for the draft.
Most important Diamondbacks in 2026.
He didn't like it.
No, I'm just keeping us moving here. That's
most important Diamondbacks of 2026. And I very interesting take on this one for me.
I go first, right?
Yeah, you can go first.
So you're getting 2? I don't really like that you're getting 2. I have a guy that I think so underrated, but I think is so important. I don't want to take him number 1 overall because I think it's just not good value. Important to me, I'm looking at it through the lens of if they're without this person for a significant amount of time, derails the whole season. So with that in mind, give me Zach Gallen number 1.
Wow. That's a good pick.
You know what you're going to get with Merrill Kelly.
My issue here is I just don't know what bullpen arms I want.
You're trying to figure out which bullpen arm you want to take? Yeah, it's fair. That's why I'm going to let you kind of sort the field out for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Gallen, you know what you're going to get with Merrill Kelly. I think you have a pretty good idea what you're going to get with Ryan Nelson. Brendan Pfaadt is still a dart throw at this stage. Eduardo Rodriguez, you're basically, despite last night, you're just kind of waiting for the time to run out on that contract. If you're going to get more out of this team this year, it's because you get a bona fide ace. And the guy that I think can do it is Zach Gallen. Because he's done it before. He looked like an ace in the second half last year. He wants to make a ton of money this offseason. And if you have an ace, it just changes the dynamics of your entire rotation. So he's very important to me. He's my first pick. You're up for 2.
I'm going to go Paul Sewald.
Oh, that's the guy. That's the guy to take.
I think that he is, just based on familiarity and what he has done for the organization prior, I think he's going to be the closer to start the year. So that is the name I'll go with to start. I will take Paul Sewald as one of the most important Diamondbacks. And then my next pick.
I think there's two answers here.
Jordan Lawler.
Wow, he went Lawler early. I got you. I was considering Lawler, not this early.
Jordan, I mean, you need this lineup to be just a few spots extra. And we could draft bullpen arms all day.
Yeah, I can make 1 through 5 for 5 members of the bullpen.
Let me tell you something. If we did that, this bullpen will still stink. It's just how bad are they? And so the importance of limiting how bad they are with Paul Sewald also contains that you need this lineup to be much longer than it is with the top 4. So I need Jordan Lawler to be good.
You've put me in a really interesting pickle because I didn't think both guys were going to get to me with my double pick. But I don't think I want to take both of them. I think I only want to take one of them. Give me Ketel Marte, number 2.
It's a good pick.
Best second baseman in the sport.
And I thought about taking him. You can't have more drama with Ketel this year.
That's the reason why he's most important, right?
Yeah.
You kind of need a drama-free season, and if he stays healthy and you're drama-free and you're not dealing with the off-the-field stuff, and by off-the-field stuff, I just mean...
No, he's a good person. It's
right.
just
the in and out of the lineup, not playing every day, that kind of stuff. If you don't have any of that, and it really, listen, you had the trade rumors all offseason. If that truly is all behind us and you still get the best second baseman in the sport, Ketel Marte, it's an MVP candidate that changes everything for you. And remember, Ketel did not play well to finish the year.
Not at all.
So important because they could have played their way into the playoffs.
If he was better.
So very important, number 2. You ready for this at number 3? You're sitting down. I can see that. You're not ready for this. The listeners are not ready for this. Gabriel Moreno, number 3.
I can't believe what you have done here. I can't believe who you have left me.
Yeah, and I didn't think you were going to leave him to me, but now I'm gonna put it back in your hands and let you take him because you can have him if you want.
I hope we're talking about the same guy.
Gabby Moreno, offensively, changes the look of this lineup. It changes the feel of this lineup. You know what you're going to get with Corbin Carroll, with Ketel Marte, with Geraldo Perdomo, right? Those are the 3. We've kind of referred to it to steal the old 90s Yankees phrase, the core 4. Gabby Moreno is the 4th member of that core 4. Problem last year was he was hurt. But I don't want to talk about just the offensive value that Gabby Moreno brings in lengthening the lineup. You want some stability in the bullpen? Got to have a good relationship between your pitchers and your catcher.
Everyday catcher.
Gabby Moreno
going
to play a big role in that. You want the development of Brendan Pfaadt, of Ryan Nelson, of any of the young pitchers you call up over the course of the season. Having that battery mate in Gabby Moreno going to be very important. So I think both on the defensive end, the stability that he can provide behind the plate, and what he does to your lineup being the 4th member of the quote-unquote core 4 of this Diamondbacks offense. Gabby Moreno, number 3 for me. You can have Corbin Carroll at number 3 if you want.
Not who I'm taking here.
Really?
Yep.
That's what I thought you were waiting on. I was stunned that you left me Ketel and Corbin for these last 2, my last 2 picks.
Ryan Waldschmidt.
You want to go Waldy here, huh?
And I have another one. And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna call this the great reinforcement selection. Ryan Waldschmidt.
Okay.
Corbin Burns.
Oh, you're stealing Burns, huh?
When these guys come up or get healthy, they are going to have to provide an extra juice to this team.
Okay.
That time is going to be very important from the Diamondbacks. Can Waldschmidt provide what Jordan Lawler could not last year when he came up the first time around? And can Corbin Burns actually continue to be, I don't want to say ace, that's a lot of pressure to put somebody on coming off of Tommy John, but can he be a reliable number 2, number 3 starter above average and get key outs for this team? If you can get good starts out of Corbin Burns, you only lengthen what the staff can do.
I'll take a page out of your book. Give me AJ Puck for my 4th pick. We're worried about the bullpen. We're worried about the stability of that bullpen. If this group can hold on long enough to get back one of their premium high leverage relievers, a guy that can be their closer, and doubly important, the lefty option out of the bullpen. That I don't love the choices that they have on that side of the ledger as it stands right now. You get him back to be your closer, to be your premium lefty, could change how we feel about this bullpen. AJ Puck, number 4. And so now I have a choice at number 5. Which of the 2 stars still left on the board do I take? And this may shock you, but I'm taking Geraldo Perdomo with my number 5 pick. He had an excellent year last year. Finished, 3rd in the MVP? I mean, it was just absurd how great of a year that he had. I don't want to say that I don't believe in him to do that. Ketel Marte's been doing it longer, so the expectations are set higher. Corbin Carroll is a more highly touted player, so you kind of expect more from him. With Perdomo, there is kind of this thought of, can you show it to me again, right? There isn't the resume buildup. Not to say that there is for Corbin, but Corbin, they signed to that big deal before he even stepped foot in the big league level. They knew what they had in this kid, right? So you kind of know what to expect with him. With Perdomo, last year, the total numbers at the end of the year, nobody had that on their bingo card. So can you do it again? Because if you can, you now have raised the floor for this offense in a significant way. That's what makes him very important to me. I have him at number 5. So if you want to take Carroll, you can take him with the number 5.
I'll take Corbin Carroll.
It's good value. It was going to be good value no matter who was left between these guys, but Corbin Carroll is good value. I'll let you talk about it.
I can't believe you let him fall all the way to me at 5, and I guess I did the same. But
right, he was there for me to take. And if I take Carroll, you're taking Perdomo.
This is the perennial MVP that they have on this team.
Yeah.
Like they've 2 perennial MVPs that we feel, and maybe Perdomo can enter that conversation, but it's going to be Ketel Marte. It's going to be Corbin Carroll. This is the guy. This is maybe the most important guy in the lineup because of the hamate injury. And yeah, I talked about lengthening the lineup. If your core 4 is bad, that we've coined on this team, if that core 4 isn't as good as they were last year or the year before, this team won't go anywhere.
Well, I'm happy that I have 3 members of the core 4 on my list.
Well, I have maybe the most important member.
So to recap my list, most important Diamondbacks in 2026, Zach Gallen, Ketel Marte, Gabby Moreno, AJ Puck, Geraldo Perdomo for me.
For me, it was Paul Sewald. It was Jordan Lawler, Ryan Walshman, Corbin Burns, and Corbin Carroll. I got both Corbins.
You got both Corbins. You got Jordan Lawler. You got Ryan Walshman. You got a good list. Both lists are pretty good. There you have it. Some dueling drafts here on the Wednesday edition of the show. 480-864-1060 if you want to weigh in on those lists. You can also chat away with us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it's a simple question with a not-so-simple answer. Should the Cardinals trade out of the number 3 pick? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
John Mellencamp. Dancing Words Tour, the greatest hits. August 9th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. John Mellencamp. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Every day begins with the promise of something new, a new perspective, a fresh start. At Banner Health, right here, right now, we're pioneering new ways to treat cancer with our own immune systems. We're among the first to treat Parkinson's with the patient's own cells. And we're a world leader in artificial heart implantation, all while training over 1,300 doctors every year. Impressive, right? It's just another Banner day. Banner Health.
Come see us at Mark Kia just off the 101 in Indian School. Right now, receive 0% APR for up to 72 months on a brand new 2025 Kia EV6. You heard right, 0%. And at Mark Kia, what you see is what you get. We have transparent pricing with no hidden fees or unnecessary dealer add-ons. Go to markkia.com right now, where you'll find all the tools you need to complete your entire deal online.
The name to remember? Mark Kia, Mark Kia.
Offer through Kia Motors Finance. Offer expires March 31st, 2026.
Some flavors just take you to another place. Like the Filet-O-Fish, a crispy fish fillet made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock on melty American cheese topped with tartar sauce, all on a soft steamed bun. It's crispy, flaky perfection. And right now, I can mix and match 2 favorites, like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece chicken McNuggets for just $6. This deal is the catch of the day. So get to McDonald's fast. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Before Arizona heat turns unbearable, get your AC ready with Ace Cooling Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. Whether you need an AC tune-up, fast repair, or a new energy-efficient system, Ace helps keep your home cool, comfortable, and efficient all summer long. Beat the rush. Call Ace today at 602-536-4475 for free estimates and expert service. That's 602-536-4475. Or visit us online at acehomeaz.com. Acing Arizona's comfort needs since '94.
Start your weekend off right with ASU baseball this Friday afternoon over on KACG 1440. Join the Sun Devils as they get ready to begin their weekend series against Kansas State. Head coach Leigh Bloomquist is more than ready for whatever the Wildcats bring to the diamond and earn his team a series opener win. It's game one between ASU and Kansas State this Friday afternoon. Pregame at 3:45 p.m. and first pitch set for 4 p.m. All happening over on KACG at 1440.
It's a simple question. I just don't think there's a simple answer to it. And it's a question that we're going to be asking and attempting to answer, I think, between now and the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft. Should the Cardinals trade out of number 3? Simple question, right? It's either yes or no. You don't have to think too hard about it. 2 choices, yes, no. Should they trade out of the pick? The problem is there's so many things outside of the Cardinals' control that dictate what the right answer might be. Because as we sit here right now, not knowing what the Jets are going to do at number 2, you can make the case that the Cardinals should trade out of number 3. That what they may be thinking, what their big board may look like, matches up with moving down and reevaluating, right? They may like a guy. They may have a guy number 1 on their big board that'll be there at pick number 7. It'll be there at pick number 8. It'll be there if they move out of number 3 and pick up some additional draft capital. So it's no harm, no foul for them. And in fact, it's a huge benefit to them for moving out of the number 3 pick. If they don't have a player like that, if they don't value one of these offensive tackles very highly, or they like a bunch of these edge rushers the same, they have a similar grade for Arvell Reese and then they do for David Bailey as they do for Ruben Bain, and so they're comfortable with any one of the 3, then you can move down a couple of spots and get one of them and you feel good about it. It all depends on how they view this draft class. The idea of trading down Producer Evan, all they got to do is just call up Tennessee, call up the Giants, call up the Chiefs who want, or at least we thought wanted Jeremiah Love. Call up one of these teams that want to move up. And it's easy. They'll give you an additional draft pick. You can move down, no problem. It's not that simple. Because what if that team that's calling you wants the same player you want? What if you don't have multiple guys that you like with the number 3 pick? Now, it's kind of hard to do that. A quarterback's going number 1. The best non-quarterback's going to go number 2. You're going to have the whole rest of the draft class to pick from. So I'd like to think you will have somebody that you like with the number 3 overall pick. I'd like to think you have a couple of somebodies that you like with the number 3 overall pick. And to me, trading out of the number 3 pick tells me if that's what the Cardinals want to do, if that's what the Cardinals are able to pull off, it's because they want to pull off the Giants move from last year and get back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. That's what it tells me. Because if you don't have that master plan in your head, if you're not trying to wheel and deal and move around, because right now I don't think the Cardinals have the draft capital to move back in to the back part of the first round, or at least where they may need to start considering moving back into to land Ty Simpson if that's what they want to do, tying back into our hour number 1 conversation. They don't have the draft capital, I think, to do that right now, especially with all the other things they need to get. They can't just be giving away draft capital. They have a pick in every round right now, but it'll take a 2 and probably a 3 to move back in, maybe even more than that. And I just don't know if you'd feel comfortable giving up that type of premium capital and leave right tackle wide open, or leave edge wide open, or leave safety wide open, one of the positions that they're going to need when we get to April. I've seen some comments over on the YouTube saying, no, don't move out of the number 3 pick. Take an edge or a right tackle. What if they can get an edge or a right tackle and move down to pick number 6 or pick number 7 or pick number 8 and pick up an additional 3rd round pick? Pick up a back part of the 2nd round selection. How do you say no to that? That's smart business. That's being a good GM. That's something that we would praise Monty for because it's the right thing to do. You can still get an edge or a right tackle. The problem is you got to like multiple guys because if you're lasered in on one guy, then you can't move out of the pick. If you have Arvell Reese miles in front of David Bailey and miles in front of Reuben Bain, and all three are available to you, when you pick at number 3, you can't trade out because Arvell Reese isn't going to get to you. But if you have all three of them graded very similarly, and you internally are okay with any one of them being the selection, then trading out makes the most sense. But it takes 2 to tango. Like I said, simple question, not so simple answer. Simple question, yes or no. Those are the 2 choices. Not a simple answer because I don't know what the Cardinals want. I don't know what the Cardinals' big board looks like. I don't know what other teams' big boards look like. I don't know what their appetite is to move up. And as we have seen in the draft videos that the Cardinals and other teams have released about this, if they're not getting what they feel is appropriate value, the numerical value that all these teams put on these selections, if they're not getting that numerical value, they won't do the trade. Even if they don't love what the board has in store for them when they're on the clock, if they're not getting the numerical value, if they're not getting a surplus, then they won't do it. And so for the Cardinals, this is one big puzzle piece. I can see a path where they move out of number 3, they move down a couple of spots, they pick up an additional draft pick, they still get an edge, they still get a tackle, they then maybe use that pick to trade back into the first round for Ty Simpson, and we are singing the praises of the Cardinals and Monty for wheeling and dealing on draft night. I can see that pathway, but I can also see a pathway where Arvell Reese is staring them in the face at number 3, and they just don't have a choice. They have to take what some people think is the best defensive player in the draft.
And I guess my bigger question is like, why would somebody like Kansas City come up? You know, if they're at 9 or Cincinnati or Miami, why are these teams coming up? What's the goal here?
Right, and if they're trying to come up for something that you're interested in, then
I'm not doing it.
I'm good.
So like, what do I want? How do I grade these guys? And what is the intent for these other teams to actually want to move up?
Here's what you need, right? Let me give you what I think is the most likely scenario that helps the Cardinals out. You got Tennessee and you got the Giants that are going to fight over Jeremiah Love.
Correct.
And the Giants need to get
jump.
They want to get in front of Tennessee.
You don't think the Giants have a little bit of like, we've drafted the running back at 4?
No.
Before?
I'm not saying that that's what I think is going to happen.
You need that to happen.
That's the scenario I'm talking about where you're okay moving down to number 5 because they're fighting over a running back that you're not taking. You signed Tyler Algier. You've got James Conner. You've got Trey Benson. You're not in that marketplace. You're not looking for a running back. So if those teams want to fight over and have a bidding war to try to get the number 3 overall pick to get Love, be my guest.
Washington wants to move up, go get Love.
Yeah, right?
Yes, sign me up.
Somebody wants to move up to take Sonny Styles. I think I'm okay with moving down. But if I know a team wants to move up for an edge rusher or one of the tackles, and I know because everybody knows what the big boards are for the other. No, I shouldn't say the big boards. They know what the needs are for other teams. Right?
I imagine without putting Mendoza, I mean, he's obviously going to be on there, but they have 3 names they like.
Oh, I think they'll have probably closer to 5 to 7 names that they
at least. Like. And if I'm in a position where I'm at 3 and none of those teams or none of those players are gone, I now find myself with a little bit of wiggle room.
Like if Cleveland called me, I think I would be okay.
Certainly move down.
Yeah, I don't think Cleveland worries me. Washington maybe worries me. New Orleans maybe worries me. Kansas City maybe worries me.
Once you get to 7.
Cincinnati would worry me because they need a Trey Hendrickson replacement, right? That's where I start to get a little worried.
And I guess the other question is if you trade back from 3 to 7, then you're also worried about other teams like, hey, you see Arizona moved back. They're going to want an offensive lineman. They're going to want an edge rusher. If I'm Cincinnati at 10, I only got to move up 4 spots now.
Right. It is a very delicate balance that you need to move down enough to get good value, but you don't want to move down too far.
That you lose your guy.
So that you lose your guy and you open the door for you to get jumped. Right? That's what you have to be careful of. So this is going to be a talking point because trading out of the number 3 overall pick does a lot of good things for the Cardinals. And it's actually, if they can get good value for it, probably the right thing to do. But it's all going to depend on who is on the board when they pick at number 3 and what they actually feel about some of the guys in this draft class. It's all going to be up to their big board. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us. We've got one more before we are out of here today on the program. It is the leftovers. It's all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. We will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
ASU women's basketball in the NCAA tournament right here on KDUS AM 1060. After a hard-fought season, the Lady Sun Devils have made their way into the women's NCAA tournament against Virginia. Head coach Molly Miller is looking to have her team make a splash in the tournament and reach new heights. Join Jeff Munn on the call live. It's ASU versus Virginia this Thursday evening. Pregame at 5:30 p.m. and tip-off at 6 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
Chicago Sticks, the Windy Cities Tour. Finally, two iconic bands together for the first time. September 1st, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Chicago and Sticks. All the hits. Your kind of tour.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo.
Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort are two of Scottsdale's most iconic entertainment destinations, elevated by one premier loyalty experience, Salt River Rewards. Earn points on gaming, dining, and purchases. Then redeem for free play, cash, or exclusive savings on dining, spa treatments, and hotel stays with breathtaking valley views. Join today and get up to $25 in free play. Salt River Rewards at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. Must be 21 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It is all the stories we didn't get to today on the program. We call them the leftovers.
I got two good ones for you.
Are we going to get to two good ones?
Well, we'll start
We've got 4 minutes.
Okay, we'll start with, as I pull up this menu and this tweet where he breaks everything down. Jack Hughes wants the puck that he scored.
Get it back to him.
And the Hall of Fame will not grant it.
Then we need to go all national treasure on the Hockey Hall of Fame. What's Nick Cage up to? We need to get
the Hall of Fame won't give it to him. He wants it. And they are currently very much arguing. Awesome. Awesome argument. I hope Jack Hughes wins and gets it. But that is the current argument there. Okay. Rory McIlroy has his Masters menu out. I'm going to read each one to you. Then we'll read the small descriptions of why he chose them, given how much we can get to. Starting with the appetizers.
Yeah, this is just,
what?
It's just a bad menu. It's just bad.
Peach and ricotta flatbread.
Sure.
Rock shrimp tempura.
Yeah, I mean, seafood is just bad.
That's a terrible take. Bacon wrapped dates. Grilled.
Listen. I love anything bacon wrapped. You don't need to bake and wrap a date, okay? Like,
No. Dates are one of the most versatile foods. You can cover them in chocolate. You can wrap them in bacon. You can make them sweet. You can make them savory. Grilled elk sliders. Those could be interesting.
So that's the only appetizer I'm in on. Do I get all 4 of these or do I just have to pick one?
I don't know. Yellowfin tuna carpaccio.
I mean, again, seafood. I'm out.
You don't like
Yeah,
seafood.
I'm out.
That I would totally do that. Yellowfin tuna, very good. Wagyu filet mignon or seared salmon.
Okay, so this is
if anybody orders the seared salmon,
especially
you're an idiot.
Especially when you can have seafood everywhere else on the menu. You can have the shrimp tempura. You can have the yellowfin tuna that was just mentioned. You don't need to triple up on the seafood.
And so then the Wagyu filet mignon, again, pick a different steak. I like a filet as much as the next guy.
Give me a tomahawk.
Give me a tomahawk. Give me a T-bone.
Give me a ribeye.
Give me a ribeye. What are we doing?
We got crispy onion rings though.
Yeah, the sides I haven't seen. Give me the sides because I'm not seeing them on the street.
Traditional Irish champ, sautéed Brussels sprouts, glazed carrots with brown butter, crispy Vidalia onion rings.
Nice.
I'm out.
Sound good. And then for dessert, this is probably the worst.
Yeah, this is where we've just
sticky toffee pudding. This is terrible. This is terrible, Rory.
And can I read the quote on the sticky toffee pudding from Rory?
Yeah.
Quote, I think very much a crowd pleaser. Sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream on warm toffee sauce. End quote. Sorry, Rory, not a crowd pleaser.
I gotta be
I'm
honest
out.
with you. It sounds better in his quote. I don't think it's a crowd pleaser.
Not a crowd pleaser.
I don't think it's. You know who I loved? Matt Siyama had an awesome one. You would hate it. Masters menu. You would hate this one. This is maybe my favorite of all time.
So again, he thinks the shrimp
assorted sushi, sashimi, and nigiri with chicken skewers.
Oh, thank you.
Miso glazed black cod.
All right.
Wagyu, an A5 Wagyu beef ribeye with mixed mushrooms and vegetables with a ponzu sauce. Japanese strawberry shortcake.
I'm gonna hold on.
That's a menu for the ages.
You ready for a menu for the ages? I gotta find it. This is gonna take me a while. Are you ready for this? How about this? Cheeseburger sliders, firecracker shrimp, meatball and ravioli bites is the appetizer.
That's Tiger.
Texas style chili is the first course.
Scotty.
Wood-fired cowboy ribeye or black and red fish with mashed potatoes and family-style mac and cheese. And then the dessert, a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie with vanilla bean ice cream. Yeah. Scotty Scheffler knows how to put together a menu. That's a menu, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, Jim Rome's coming up next. Everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.